Hello folks, and how you diddling? Bit cooler today, isn't it? Like, and what we're going to do is we're going to have a look, and we're going to have a bit of a battle of the Kinetics and the Kinotics. See you in the down view, or the kitchen down view. Okay, so first up, here is my very first Kinetic. This is the YT57 Pulsar with the Lumi Bright dial. Beautiful condition. I should wear this more often. Right. Now you'll notice this one doesn't have the button there. And then we have my second. This is the 5M42 version, which if you look, it's got the button. Press the button when it gets to 2, it tells you how much power reserve you've got. There we go, that's 6, just a little bit down on the 6, which means that it's got basically 4 segments of full charge. It's got a very nice wind to it. This one I've upgraded with lithium cell. This one, it's supposed to have the lithium cell in it, but it hasn't. Well, it has, or it's dying. It needs to have a new cell put in it because it doesn't hold its charge for very long. Then this I got last week. This is another YT57. It's in a bit of now this is basically, it's a continuation of the G10 design. It's got beautiful wind on it, the movement's clean, but you'll notice it is missing a second hand. But if you look, there is like what you call it, it's called a blanking hand. For some reason the second hand is actually gone from this, and somebody's put a blanking plug into it. I thought it was where the hand had broken off, but no, it's not. So, very hard to get there. That's very energetic. So those are my 3 actual Kinetics. Here we go. This is the star of the show, kind of. Now, there we go. This is the Seiko Arctura Kinetic. This was the very first Kinetic watch Seiko produced mainstream. It's in a bit of a worn state, but then again it is like 30 something years old. And it needs a really good deep polish and clean. Now unfortunately the button goes in but nothing happens, because you'll notice firstly this should only have a date window, it shouldn't have a day. This has also got a case back where somebody's that looks like it's mangunged, but it's not. It's just where the alloy has like crumbled a bit. This is the strap it's supposed to be on, which is horrible. It really is horrible. So I put it on this one, as you can see there. Inside it has got a Miyota 2115, is it? I think it's got a Miyota something. It's the day-date version of the Miyota, and it really is, you know, now what happened was, right, was that the 3M22 kinetic movements of these were dreadful. They really were bad. So, like, down the line, because people paid quite a lot of money for these were about 300 quid. And what they did was they went down to their watchmaker and said, hey, look, it's broken again. This, of course, happened after it was out of warranty with Seiko. And so what they did was they just stuck quartz movements in. Because after all, kinetic movement, all it is a quartz movement with a rotor and a special type of battery. And like that is how you come across these Kinotics, which look like kinetics, but they are not kinetics, and they just have a standard quartz movement in regard, whether it's one of the Seiko cheap movements or it's one of the Miyota cheap movements. Excuse me. Well, there you go. Am I unhappy about this? No, I'm not really. Like, because really, truthfully, like, you know, after reading up the 3M22 and the early 5M42s that use this button to like do the gauge, no, it was just a pain in the bum, like happening on. Now I can put a 5M43 in there, which is the day-date version of the 5M42. And it will fit perfectly and everybody will be happy. But do I need to? They're expensive. Whereas, like, it's doing what it says on the tin. It looks like an Arctura. I mean, everything except for the movement is Seiko. But, I mean, you could just see a slight hint where they, like, cut out, the watchmaker cut out the date window. And a lot of these were like sold on as fakes, like they were charging like you know, like $400 or $500 for, like, you know, for like a watch which has got like a $5 like movement shoved into it. Like, I paid £25 for this. I am not unhappy about that. And you know, if it works, it works. And there we go, look at that. So there is the Seiko Arctura. It is a work in progress. It does need a thoroughly, I need to take everything out and clean it completely. Get that lens, there's like, you know, the lens crystal light needs to be cleaned. I mean, look at it, the Seiko needs to be blacked with black paint. The screws are covered in man guns. I mean, but you know, I've been wearing it these last few days and I'm loving it. This one I'm waiting on a strap to turn up for, which will be, I mean, I might just prize that blanking plug out and stick a second hand in. It's a shame that, you know, that, I mean, there's that gouge there. It's hard lex, so it's not hard to get a crystal for. But you can see like how they carried on, like, you know, this is like very much like what the Pulsar G10 looked like. But obviously, this one's got like it is a sandwich board of all things. It's very like, you know, that's like an embossed edge, and underneath it there's like a loom layer. But it works, you know. And I mean, I paid silly money for this as well. I mean, I think I paid £12 for it. £12 for a working Kinetic. It's also a bit of a fingerprint magnet. That's why I don't like hard lex that much, because it does seem to attract the thing. This one, love it. I absolutely love it. Like, you know, it really is like a lovely clean piece. The only nose is that I've had to put one of these like links in, right, because obviously it's just one link too short. And it's a shame, but that's a link extender for a couple of quid from Red Rooster UK on eBay. You know, where would it? I clean these quite regularly, and they always seem to end up like, you know, becoming like man guns. This is where most people measure it, is there, right? And then when you've got, like, you know, the 4th bar, then you know. I've got to set the date on this as well. Date. This one, I love it. It is a very, very attractive looking watch. The Lumi Bright. The reason I don't wear it often is because sometimes late at night, like, I'm trying to get asleep, and the Lumi Bright actually wakes me up. So it's got a nice golden feel. I mean, it's got a lovely solid. Is that solid? Yeah, that is solid. Yeah, I remember now. That was quite a pain in the bum to adjust. Yeah, it's got like a K-bar, but it is solid link. Alright, this was a real pain, but again, you can see it just trying to loom a bit there. It's a beautiful, beautiful watch, that is. Very nice and dressy. And as for this, I found this on another watch, like, you know, and I saw that this was the same, and it's all, it just pings itself out off the spring bar. So there you go. Who will win? Like, you know, I mean, like the Kinotic, like, or the 3 Kinetics. Right. I love them all. I mean, you know, I love wearing this. I do love wearing this, like, you know, but I'd love, you know, I got them for that reason. Like, you know, I didn't go them to like fill a slot or something. I got them because that's what I want on my wrist. Right, we'll take it to the up view and we'll talk some more there.
A few inches later.
So, here's a gratuitous shot of it. You can see why people do go mad over this. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to find a 5M43A Seiko movement for this, and I am going to put this back to being a Kinetic. I think that's, like, you know, that's going to look absolutely astonishing, and, you know, it will give it some worth. I mean, if you go and have a look on on your Google, and you like search for like Arctura quartz conversion or quartz movement in Arctura or something like that, and you'll come up with quite a few things. This is quite a common thing where people have had the 3M22 and the early 5M42s taken out and replaced with just a standard lozenge sort of like quartz movement. So you can see, like, it's only because, like, you know, the very early versions of this Kinetics were really unreliable, and it brought, like, Seiko a lot of problems. But I think that looks the business, doesn't it? I'll quickly show you the other Kinetic, like the G10 type thing. Because this is going to be, I am going to put a second hand on it, and I've been looking it up. Would it believe it? Like the jagged lightning Milgauss ones fit on these movements. There you go. Look at that. Give that a quick wipe over, because I did clean this all once, but it needs further work. There we go. That looks a bit better, doesn't it? And it's quite lovely. You probably won't be able to hear it, but it's got a lovely P rotating in the tin sound to it. It's only on this strap simply because I'm waiting for a strap to come in for it. It came on this absolutely filthy strap, you know, and like, I mean, it pongs as well. I'll quickly show this one back off again. There we go. As you can see, that one's it's now off its double tick. Set the date up and everything. Give that a right, you know, good. I'm not going to bore you with the third one, like, you know, I mean, I've done this one quite a lot. Like, I love this. This is absolutely beautiful. This is really, really nice. Nice on your wrist. So there you go. And, you know, I'm going to say that the one on my wrist is really the winner, because I just love it. I just love that steel and gold. But since I ever saw one of these, I've wanted one. I don't care if it's not quite right, it's not quite pucker, but with the proper kinetic movement back into it again, it makes it 100% more pucker than what it is right now, because, like, you know, the cheap Miyota quartz movement in it is I'm not even sure if I can get that open. Where's me blue thing? Hold up a minute, let's get that out, let's have a look. Let's see if I can inveigle that round. I'll show you the movement quickly. So this is unusual that it's actually got a case back, but it's the correct case back. I don't know if you can see that. It gets round to focusing. See, it's really strange as well. So it's actually got a movement holder there. Right. And there is the movement that's in there, as you can see. Somebody went to a lot of time and effort in making that work. I can do this up in a second. Because, like, and I mean, you know, a lot of these were sold on, like, you know, saying, oh, these were the prototypes of the, what's it, the Arctura, this is why they're like this, and, you know, stuff like that. It's nothing to do with that, like, you know, it's all to do with the fact that the original, what's it, the original kinetic movements were just plain awful. They really were. So I have got to get around to, like, doing the lithium cell upgrade on this one again, or just replacing the lithium cell, right? And then I can wear this a bit more. And if you give me a second, you want to see loom? Now that is loom. Let's do the other ones. And you can see what I was saying about it being like a very unusually designed sandwich board. Oh yeah, the other thing as well is I've got to get the correct crown for this as well. I've got the crown on it because this came to me with a broken stem. This has only got loom on the hands. It's not very good loom. I've got another project up on the thing, on the military theme of everything. Like, got this for a few quid. Seconda. It's a loom monster. What's wrong with this? Snap stem. That's all it is. So all I've got to do is just dig in there. I've got plenty of 21. This is a 2115 Miyota. I've got tons of stems in there. Just take and hopefully I should be able to like do something with that as well, because you should see the stem snapped up to the shaft. So unfortunately, but I like this because it's come on. It's like a thick hide strap. Alright, it's missing the keeper. It's missing the keeper that goes there, but I'm sure I can find a brown leather keeper somewhere in my. Somebody's like try to like staple the other keeper on there like so, but you know, I mean, I like that. That's bloody good loom on that actually, like so that's a work in progress. That's going into my needs servicing pile now. That's going into my needs servicing pile now because it was working perfectly fine and it just decided it wanted to go fast. Like it is now 23 minutes past. It is now like 15 minutes fast. It's racing again. It's not magnetised this time round. I've double checked it and everything, so I don't know what's causing it. There's something not quite right in it. You know, so it needs like looking at, which is a shame because I was really pleased that it was working. That's going into that pile. That's really all about it. Like, you know, I mean, what would you rather be doing? Watching the crappy Olympics, or you know, watching some old fart like me, like you know, like whittering on about watches, like you know. So look at this Ben Sherman thing. No. So it sounds like I slagged Britain down. It's not. It's because I remember Britain from a different era, like you know, when it was really quite nice to live here. And unfortunately, like you know, it's just become very, very horrible. You know, we've got liars and criminals in government. Like everybody's on the take and on the thief. Like I mean, we are just constantly, you know, watching, you know, what was actually quite a nice country to live in, like in the 70s and the 80s. I mean, 80s was horrible, but like, you know, it was horrible for other reasons. But it's like, it just seems to be like nowadays, like, you know, if you like don't agree with the government, you're like some sort of traitor and stuff like that. Like, you know, if you don't hate on people of different colour, like, you know, you should be thrown out, or like, you know, have a brick through a window or things, like, you know. I mean, this is not what Britain was. Like, you know, we were the original multicultural country after Rome, after like Italy, if you know what I mean. And you know, it's not how it should be. And we are treating people very, very poorly. And you know, all it is about making as much money, like, you know, pissing down on the people down below you who've got a penny less, and you're kissing and licking the arseholes of like the people who've got a penny more. Like, and of course, if you're like something like a Tory or royal or something like that, somebody with a title or businessman and that, you're exempt from basically everything. Like, you know, so you can go on a spree, kill people, no problems at all. Like, you know, and I don't think that's right. That's just me. I think there should be justice. You know, justice should be, you know, to the top, to the bottom. Like, and people who are given public trust, I believe, like, you know, should be held to a much higher bar. So this is why, like, you know, like, I believe that if an old Bill is like caught doing something bad, they should get a third of a sentence more than people who, because they've broken that public trust. We put trust into the public, and I think that we should have more of that. And if politicians, like, you know, I mean, Boris Johnson should be held for lying. You know, he lied about the NHS 350 million a week lie. I mean, he has done nothing. He has done nothing since going into power, but absolutely, like, you know, he just is like, you know, a confabulist of like a Trump sort of like proportion. He really is, you know. He doesn't care. He just says what he thinks. He says it sounds good. Doesn't matter if it's the truth, or, you know, or the lie. The lie he always seems to gravitate towards. And you know, these people are running and ruining our country. You know, all in their little thing, trying to turn us into, like, you know, America 2.0. Like, you know, I mean, America itself is in terrible trouble, like, you know, financially, and they are just like that. And our government is shoving through these, like, policies that have just been shown to not work. You know, we need to go back to the old ways, you know, of, like, you know, schooling, the 3 R's of reading, writing, and arithmetic. Like, you know, that's what you do, like, in your first, like, you know, your first part of school, like infants and juniors, like, you know, you're learning how to do those things with a bit of PE, bit of history, bit of, like, you know, assembly or whatever, you know. But, like, you know, so that when you get to the older school, you can expand it with more science and more, like, you know, broader subjects. And that is how we turned out some of the best academicians, you know, on the planet. It's because we use that system. Because, you know, all the great, like, scientists and all that, they didn't, like, you know, they all went to, like, standard schools. But the kids that are coming out of school today are absolutely ruined. You know, they're ruined before they even get started, unless their family's rich and they can go to a private school like Eton or Rodine or stuff like that. Oh, there you go. There's my Sunday afternoon sermon. Like, it's a little bit cooler. I mean, everybody seems to be, like, you know, like wetting their knickers over the weather and all that. I mean, I will say I went to Sturminster Newton on Friday, and it was that hot. I think that I was getting vaporizing of the fuel in the carburetor, because the Reliant started misfiring. It was like, you know, it was going like, you know. And I let it cool down. I had a look, checked all the connections, everything seemed to be okay. Or it could be that because of the intense heat, and I mean, it was 31 degrees outside in the exterior temperature, like, you know, and that's what my phone said anyway. What's it, like, the engine itself, like, you know, I mean, like all the insulation on the electrical connections were quite soft, like, you know, I mean, it was close to, like, melting point in certain places. And I think that the electronic module in the electronic distributor, I think that may well have been, like, breaking down due to heat. Because I mean, you know, these things are designed for, like, the British weather. They're not designed for 31 degrees sort of, like, you know, desert weather. So there you go. Oh, I think I'll show that one. So I'm going to declare that one the winner. I do like that one. I like that. I've been wearing it. It feels nice. Like, that silly strap I had, like, you know, I mean, looking on all the forums and that, all they say is, like, yeah, get rid of that horrible strap. You know, this didn't come with any strap at all, and it was really weird because I actually found that strap on that. If you look, the case in that, and I was thinking about that glass looks about the right size, and that's actually a really nice piece of dome, that is. Now, if that is the same, right, that means that, you know, could very well be a replacement if I need to. Right. I mean, it does look very, very similar, doesn't it? So even the shrouding on the back of the lugs and everything is very, very similar. So I don't know. You know, perhaps they were using, you know, perhaps they use this as a baseline to build around that. But no, this is a genuine Seiko. I mean, it's a genuine Seiko case, and, like, you know, and sub case, like the buttons and all that, they're all genuine Seiko. The dial's genuine Seiko. Like, this is the stem and crown. Like, the only thing that's not Seiko, which is Faco, is the movement inside. And of course, like, this is the aftermarket. What's it? But it keeps beautiful time. Dates work, and all day and date works. I mean, you know, I mean, who's going to make you get the back off of this? Like, say, oh, I must inspect your Arctura, or, you know, nobody's going to know that's not a real one. It's that, of course, they would notice that it's got a day on it as well as the date. So, because the original Series 1 Arcturas did not have a day. There you go. Right, I'm going to leave that with you. Like, you know, sermon delivered and Kinetics delivered. Right. I will be wearing more of this. Like, you know, I'm still trying to find a link for it so that I can actually just get rid of this silly extender. So, but I haven't worn this properly since, like, I've got it really wound up since I've done the battery months ago. So, you know, the lithium upgrade on it is really worth it, because if you don't wear it, you can leave it alone for 6 months without having to worry about it. If you do wear it every day, it'll just keep going for that, like, you know, it will just maintain its charge. You know, and the batteries are designed to last 10 years, but people are saying that they're getting more from them. They're Panasonic M920s, which ain't a bad battery. There you go. It's upside down as well. No, it's not right. That's right. He's upside down. Oh, that's something. I don't know. Like, you know, it's because the phone is showing me back to front, if you know what I mean. Right, there you go. Double thumbs up all round, and I will see you in the next one. Toodle pipski.